She signed the divorce papers in tears at the Christmas party. No one knew she was a billionaire's. The Christmas party glittered with champagne glasses, fairy lights, and forced laughter. Snow tapped softly against the tall glass windows of the downtown hotel ballroom, but inside, the air felt heavy. Amelia Carter stood near the long buffet table, her hands trembling as she held a thin envelope. Inside were the divorce papers, signed just minutes ago, her tears still smudging the ink. No one noticed her shaking. To everyone else, Amelia was just another quiet woman married to Daniel Carter, a mid-level executive known for his charm and ambition. People whispered about Daniel's bright future, his promotions, and his taste in elegant suits. Amelia was always introduced as an afterthought, his wife, nothing more. Daniel raised his glass at the center of the room, laughing loudly with his colleagues. "Merry Christmas, everyone," he announced. Applause followed. Amelia flinched at the sound, memories flooding back, late nights alone, whispered phone calls, cold dinners, and finally, betrayal she could no longer ignore. When Daniel approached her, his smile faded. "Did you do it?" he asked under his breath. She nodded, unable to speak. "Good," he said flatly. "We'll file after the holidays. Try not to make a scene tonight." Those words broke something inside her. She turned away, her vision blurring with tears. No one knew that the woman standing alone by the dessert table had grown up in a world far beyond this ballroom. A world of private jets, boardrooms, and unimaginable wealth. Amelia Carter was the only daughter of Richard Hale, a man whose name quietly controlled half the city's skyline. A billionaire investor, a legend, a man who taught his daughter humility before power. She had walked away from that life years ago, changing her last name, refusing her inheritance, wanting to be loved for who she was, not what she had. When she met Daniel, she never told him the truth. She paid her share, lived modestly, and believed love would be enough. It wasn't. As the party continued, Daniel's boss, Mr. Whitman, tapped his glass. "Attention, everyone. We have a special guest joining us tonight." The doors at the far end of the hall opened. The room fell silent. A tall, silver-haired man stepped inside, flanked by two discreet assistants. His tailored coat and calm authority commanded instant respect. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. "Is that Richard Hale?" someone whispered. Daniel froze. His face drained of color. Richard Hale scanned the room, his sharp eyes finally landing on Amelia. For a brief moment, the billionaire's expression cracked, not with anger, but with pain. "My apologies for interrupting," Richard said, his voice steady. "I'm here to pick up my daughter." Gasps echoed. Amelia's knees nearly buckled. She hadn't seen her father in years. Slowly, she stepped forward. "Dad." Richard walked to her, gently taking the envelope from her hand. He glanced at the divorce papers, then back at Daniel. The silence was suffocating. "You asked her to sign these tonight?" Richard asked calmly. Daniel stammered. "Yes, sir. I didn't know." "No," Richard interrupted. "You didn't care to know." He turned to the room. "Amelia Hale is not only my daughter. She is a board member in 3 of my companies and the sole heir to my estate. She chose a simple life because she believed love mattered more than money." Every word felt like a verdict. Daniel's boss swallowed hard. "Mr. Hale, we had no idea." "That much is clear," Richard replied. "But tomorrow morning, my legal team will be reviewing certain ethical concerns within this company." Panic spread across the executives' faces. Richard turned back to Amelia, his voice softening. "You don't have to be strong anymore." Tears streamed freely down her face as she nodded. As they walked out together, the Christmas lights seemed dimmer behind them. Daniel collapsed into a chair, realizing too late that he hadn't just lost a marriage. He had destroyed his own future. Outside, snow fell gently as Richard wrapped his coat around Amelia's shoulders. "Come home," he said. For the first time in years, she smiled, not because of wealth, revenge, or victory, but because she was finally free.